Good afternoon, everybody there. We were talking about module 5 in the last week. There, the topic was interrupt programming. We had completed the topics like timer interrupt, serial communication interrupt, and interrupt structure of 8051. Interrupt priority is today's agenda, today's topic. So when 8051 is powered up, when 8051 is powered up, the priorities are assigned according to the following. According to the following table, the external interrupt 0 is highest priority, timer interrupt 0 is next priority, external interrupt 1 is third priority, then comes timer interrupt 1, last one is serial communication for both reception and transmission. So in reality, the priority scheme is nothing but an internal polling sequence in which 8051 polls the interrupts in the sequence listed and responds accordingly. That is a interrupt. There is an interrupt priority register IP. Based on the status of interrupt priority register and the fixed priority assignment which is already done by 8051 structure, the interrupt would be serviced. The highest to lowest priority list is given there. So as I've already told you, interrupt 0, external interrupt 0, INT 0 is the highest priority and serial communication interrupt is the lowest priority. Based on that, let us have an example. Discuss what happens if interrupts INT0, TF0 and INT1 are activated at the same time. Assume priority levels were set by the power up preset and external hardware interrupts are edge triggered. This is the assumption. If the solution is if the three interrupts which is listed INT0, TF0 and INT1 are activated at the same time, first and foremost thing is they are latched internally. They are latched internally. Then the 8051 checks all 5 interrupts according to the sequence listed in table 11.3. That is the table which I had shown now. If any is activated, it services it in the sequence. Therefore, when the above 3 interrupts are activated, IE0, that is external interrupt 0, is serviced first. Then timer 0, finally interrupt 1. So this is the sequence. This is the sequence. When INT0, TF0 and INT1 are activated at the same time, INT0 will be serviced first, then timer interrupt 0 and INT 1. We can alter the sequence of interrupt priority by assigning a higher priority to any one of the interrupts by programming a register called as interrupt priority register. We can alter the sequence of interrupt priority by assigning a higher priority to any one of the interrupts by programming a register called as interrupt priority register. To give a higher priority to any of the interrupts, we make the corresponding bit in the IP register high. Whatever the priority which is assigned by the 8051 structure is that list. External interrupt 0, timer interrupt 0, external interrupt 1, timer interrupt 1, serial communication. Among these, if any of the priority assignment need to be changed, then you have to program a register called as interrupt priority register. That is a particular bit here. This is the template frame format of interrupt priority register. D7 to D0, first two bits are not defined. PT2 is priority of the timer interrupt 2. PS serial port interrupt priority bit. PT1 timer 1 interrupt priority 1 priority bit. Timer interrupt 2, timer 2 is not there in 8051. Anyway, that is not applicable to this. Because we are discussing 8051. PS is serial port interrupt priority. Timer 1 interrupt priority is PT1. External interrupt 1 priority bit. Timer 0 interrupt priority bit. External interrupt 0 priority bit. So if any one of the among these 5, if any one need to be given highest priority, you have to make that particular, suppose timer 1 you want to make it high. Then IP.3, bit number D3, IP.3 need to be 1. Remaining all you put 0. So what happens if more than one interrupts are enabled? Among that, if timer 1 interrupt is there, it will be serviced first. Remaining will be serviced later. So this is how the concept of priority works. For example, program the IP register to assign higher priority to INT1. Then discuss what happens if INT0, INT1 and TF0 are activated at the same time. Assume interrupts are both edge triggered. So as I have told you, timer 1 you need to make higher priority means where is timer 1? Timer 1 is IP.3. Timer 1 is IP.3. Sorry, external interrupt 1. I'm sorry. External interrupt 1 is IP.2. So IP.2 is from the right side, third bit. You have to make it 1. That is IP.2 should be 1. What is the instruction for that? Set bit IP.2. You have to do that. If you want to program, you have to write a program. Either you can write move IP comma binary pattern, whatever I have shown. Otherwise, you can write set bit IP.2. That way also you can do it. So this is the answer for the first question. Program IP register to assign higher priority to INT1.
Yes, we have done that.
The priority of the fixed priority of the 8051 structure, you need to program IP register. Suppose in this example, suppose if you want to make INT1, external interrupt 1 as the highest priority, then you have to make IP.2, bit number 2, high. The instruction in step A assigned a highest priority to INT1 than the others. Therefore, INT0, INT1 and TF0 interrupts are activated at the same time. Therefore, when INT0, INT1, TF0 interrupts are activated at the same time, the 8051 services INT1 first, then it services INT0, then TF0. This is due to the fact that INT1 has a highest priority than other two because of the instruction whatever you have used in step A. So instruction step A makes both the INT0 and TF0 bits in the IP register 0. As a result, the sequence in the table 11.3 is followed, which gives an highest priority INT0 over TF0, like that. So in the IP register, as you have made INT0 and TF0 as 0, 0, you are not assigned any priority, highest priority to them. That is why you have assigned highest priority to only INT1. So it will first service INT1, then it will service as in the fixed priority order. Fixed priority order, which is the highest priority, TF0, then INT0. Sorry, for INT0, then TF0. So this is how it will be done. Hope you have understood that. So next is assume that after reset, an interrupt priority is set by the instruction this. You have assigned IP.2 and IP.311. Discuss the sequence interrupts are serviced. That is timer 1 to highest priority level compared with the resets of interrupts. However, since they are fold according to the table, they will have the following: highest priority to interrupt 1, then timer interrupt, then interrupt 0, then the timer interrupt 0, serial communication. This will be the priority. Why it is so? Why it is so? Because here external interrupt and timer interrupt 1 has made high. But always remember, polling will be done always in the order which is already fixed. So in the fixed order, among interrupt 1 and timer interrupt 1 is having highest priority. You can just see that in the IP register, you are making 2 interrupts high priority. Among those 2, which is the highest priority? INT1. Among those 2 interrupts, highest priority is external interrupt 1. Then timer interrupt. Then interrupt 0. Then external interrupt. Then interrupt 0. Then timer interrupt. So this is how this particular problem should be solved. When more than one interrupts are made high priority, interrupts will be served as per the original table. As per the original table. That is very important. In the original table, interrupt 1 is having higher priority over timer interrupt. So that is why first interrupt 1, then timer interrupt, then interrupt 0, then timer interrupt 0, then serial communication. This would be the order. Why external interrupt 1 has come highest? Because in IP register, you have made the highest priority those two interrupts. Among that, which is the highest priority? Interrupt 1. Then timer interrupt 1. Then interrupt 0. Then timer interrupt 0. Then serial communication. So such problems would be asked in the examination. So in the 8051, a low priority interrupt can be interrupted by a higher priority interrupt, but not by another low priority interrupt. This is a very interesting statement. In 8051, a low priority interrupt can be interrupted by a higher priority interrupt, but not by another lower priority interrupt. Although all the interrupts are latched and kept internally, no low priority interrupt can get the immediate attention of the CPU until the 8051 has finished servicing the high priority interrupts. Although all the interrupts are latched and kept internally, no low priority interrupt can get the immediate attention of CPU until the 8051 has finished servicing the higher priority interrupts. This is very important point to note. That is, when some higher priority interrupts are being serviced, no low priority interrupt can get the attention of CPU. This is the point which you have to note down. To test an ISR, interrupt service subroutine, by way of simulation can be done with simple instruction to set the interrupts high and thereby cause the 8051 jump to the ISR. For example, if I bit for timer 1 is set, an instruction such as set bit TF1 will interrupt 8051 in whatever it is doing and will force it to jump the interrupt vector table. We do not need to wait for timer 1, go roll over to have an interrupt. That is very important point. That is, you can test ISR by simulating a situation. What is the situation? Example, you can take the timers. You can write an instruction like set bit timer flag 1. When such an instruction is written, you are invoking timer 1. So 8051 will be interrupted with whatever it is doing. And will force it to jump to the interrupt vector table. So 8051 compiler, now we have to discuss the programming in C language programming for timers, for interrupts. Assign a unique number to each of 8051 interrupts. Interrupt 0 is assigned with the number 0. Timer interrupt 0 with 1. Interrupt 1 with 2. Timer interrupt 1 with 3. Serial communication with 4. Anyway, timer 2 is not there. It can assign a register bank to an ISR. This avoids code overhead due to which it pushes and pops R0 to R7 register. You know that 8051 has 4 register banks, 32 registers, and we will be using always bank 0. Out of that, for 8051, you can assign separate register bank. So with this, let us see a simple program, right? A C program that continuously gets a single bit of the data from P1.7 and sends it to P1.0, while simultaneously creating a square wave of 200 microseconds on pin P2.5. Use timer 0 to create the square wave with frequency 11.0592 crystal frequency. So we have to use timer 0 in mode 2, auto reload mode. So 1/2 of the period is 200 microsecond is the period, 1/2 is 100 microsecond. So 100 microsecond divided by 1.085. What is 1.085? That is the base frequency. Basic frequency which is computed already 11.0592 divided by 32, 921.6 kilohertz. 921.6 kilohertz is 11.0592 divided by 12 gives you 921.6 kilohertz. So 1 over 921.6 kilohertz is 1.085 microseconds. So now if you want to generate a pulse of width 100 microsecond, then you have to divide 100 microsecond by what? 1.085 microsecond. 1.085 microsecond. That's what you have to do. So now SW is a variable which is assigned by P1.7, IND is a variable P1.0, wave is a variable P2.5. So now we are writing a ISR which is generating a square wave. So we will always write wave which is equal to not of wave. So it will simply toggle. So make switch in SW as 1. You are making some P1.0, P1.7 as 1 means you are defining that P1.7 as an input pair. You know that. You are making a particular line as 1 means you are defining that port as input port. Configure the timer as auto reload mode. Load TH0 with the -92. -92 is A4. Then enable interrupt with the timer 0. So your interrupt enable register will be 82. Then whatever is there in SW, send it to IND. What is IND? P1.0. That is, whatever it is read in SW, P1.7, you are transmitting it to P1.0. IND is P1.0 indicator. And this particular program goes with like that. So it's a very simple program. So we will hope you have understood this, and we will continue it in the next class.